And if you're a gardener, I suggest that you cover up and you be really, really careful. I've only just started gardening professionally, and I'm finding out this the hard way. I have now got to study toxic, dangerous plants that are every day in the garden, and I have to be really, really careful because the last few days I have been really sick. I thought I was dying. I thought I needed to go to hospital at one point. I even thought that I would have to have my arm chopped off, and I thought I'd contracted some foul disease or had caught parasites from eating meat again, or some crazy stuff went through my head. And then I realised, well, I caught something from gardening. I got this horrible rash, and I'm going to show you here. Can you see it? See that? My whole arm is all swollen there. That white stuff is chamomile lotion to stop the itching. And it's swelled up as well. I don't know if you can see that. Just there. So, that was from a gardening job I did the other day, and it was from cutting back and clearing agapanthus. Agapanthus grow like wild everywhere in New Zealand, but I'm not sure about the rest of the world, but they're now like classed as a weed. But they're in everyone's garden. There is not one garden who does not have an agapantha, because they're easy and cheap, and they're easy to grow, and they have big purple flowers, and people think they're really pretty. I actually think they're really ugly and common, but because I've seen them in so many gardens, and I've also seen them in gardens that are just wild and overgrown. And yeah, so I worked out that the areas that I have this painful hot rash was where I was wearing shorts, and I was wearing a short sleeve top at work. And so this is why I'm saying cover up if you're a gardener or you garden as a hobby. I used to just garden as a hobby because I love being out in nature. I love flowers. I love gardening. So I decided to start a business as doing gardening. And so this is what I've discovered, that half of the garden, half of those flowers that you think are really beautiful and pretty are deadly and deadly poison. So just to be really, really careful. I've even got the rash down on my legs. It's hot, it's burning. I looked it up, and it may last a whole week. I may have to go on a cleansing fast just to clean out, like a water fast, for a few days, just to speed up the healing process and clear those toxins out of my system. But yeah, it's a big wake up call. And like, I've also been watching Daphne Reloaded's channel, where she talks about how the vegetables that we eat are man-made, and they're also bad for you. So yeah, it's a big wake-up call, guys. It really is. It's a big wake-up call. You think that it's just a pretty flower, and it's not. It can kill you. So this plant that's infected me, so I obviously got a scratch. This is what happened. This is how easy it is. I got a scratch. And it didn't happen on the first day. It was the second day that it just flared up. And then it spread all over the areas where which were exposed. So that was my lower legs because I had shorts on, and then it's been my lower arms where I had a short sleeve top on. So if you are gardening professionally, or you are gardening period, even as a hobby at home, be very, very careful. Cover up, cover everything. I wear protective glasses now, in a lot of jobs where there's a lot of cutting back and clearing involved, I will be wearing a mask, especially when it comes to composting, dirt and dust. It can come up, but when you're dealing with weeds, especially weeds, be really, really careful with weeds. That they are so deadly. Like, I've had to cut out certain plants in my own garden just for the native birds, because I don't think the native birds are that stupid to eat it, but I've got kids too. So I had to cut them back because they are deadly. Now, this Agapantha plant, it could actually potentially kill someone. The root of it, now I've been digging out the roots, for goodness sakes. I've been that close to death, and I didn't even realise